All right, everyone, welcome back to a long-awaited episode of the Deer Gear podcast. I apologize for my absence, but man, you guys have kept us at Exodus so busy that I just haven't had time to get to any podcast episodes. But we're back today, and we have a season update. Dorge has a public land Illinois buck on the ground. We talk a little bit about that. Talk about the outlook for the rest of the season, some trade show plans, and a bunch more. Just kept it casual this week. I will have so many updates for you guys as we get through the season recap for myself. I'm grinding it out. It's been a extremely tough season, my toughest ever, but we'll get through it. Without any further ado, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I've already kept you waiting months. Let's get into this episode of the Deer Gear podcast. All right, everyone. December is here. By the time that you're listening to this, it's December 1st, Dorge. How have you been?
It did. Busy. I've got so many products coming in and have no help with my tiny business. I've been doing a lot more assembly than most people can imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure. It was I don't know, maybe it wasn't for you, but it seemed like for me and for Exodus that business was busier later into the hunting season than normal. Is that the case for you?
You know why?
Was
For all this year, finally they figure. A lot of people will figure the cheap stuff don't work. They finally want the best, and they don't mind paying for it because the cheap stuff didn't work.
It already failed for them.
It has to be with me for years that had happened. And it was funny though, because people say, just give me the stuff that work. I don't care how much it costs, is usually the words.
Yeah, that's kind of that's pretty much the same experience here. Everyone, like on the camera side and the arrow side, people get frustrated with what doesn't work. They thought they could go the cheap route, and then
they for whatever they believe is a better route until, well, if nothing works, they finally will say, "Oh, I'm just good." Just like I remember when what's his name? Your good buddy Jake. He sent me a friend. He walked to me with a really funny statement. I got $600. Just make my bow and arrow. I don't care what I need to do, but I only got $600. Make it work. I say, wait a minute, you just spent close to $3,000 on this setup. You say, I did. And I look at that setup and say, let me help you. We don't need to make new arrow. We just need to take the weight off the front.
Yeah. Something I hope to get into a little bit towards the end of the podcast is gather your thoughts on some of the new bows for 2024. But before we do any of that, let's talk a little bit about your season so far hunting, because you had some success.
I have success, but I have given up a lot because this year I'm so busy, and I only got to hunt about a fifth of what I used to. I used to put 3 to 5 days a week going out, at least 3 hours a day. This season, no. And furthermore, I mean, being older, I'm also wiser, or I'm more afraid of cold. And I got my new USB system for my feet, which is good. I put a USB pad in it. I did got a 50 amp hours of a battery pack system for my tree stand, which is very nice. So I can my knee, my heel, and my thigh warm the way I want it, so I can sit a lot longer without suffering.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I tried everything. I finally end up building this. My fifth iteration of my hunting bag. It's like you got Gore-Tex 3-ply with the Polartec 300 on the side with 9 heating elements.
Wow.
Hey, I sold.
So, Illinois, is that the only state that you hunt?
No, Illinois, Indiana, because I got an India lifetime license. I was thinking of Wisconsin, but I don't have any good place to hunt.
Sure. Illinois, do you gun hunt at all?
Nope.
Doesn't surprise.
You don't need a boycott. I mean, I used to own a muzzle loader. I got a Black Knight with the R29 primer and everything. It's like, I mean, when I live in Indiana, I hunt near Cincinnati. No, Cincinnati, near
Indianapolis.
No, Cincinnati. Well, because my good buddy Snook live in Brookfield.
Yeah,
So the first time I did that, the deer showed up 70 yards. Boom, the thing died. I say, that's uneventful. Then I did the same thing again the next morning. I say, well, I think that's the end of my Black Knight muzzleloader with everything on it, because I got a Fujinon 32 millimeter scope. It's like, it's really, you just point and shoot, and that's the end of it. I mean, it's really, what's the fun of it?
yeah. I mean, that kind of surprises me a little bit. I thought you'd be a gun guy. I thought you would just enjoy guns.
Well, I do enjoy building and designing pieces for gun. You know, I own the patent to an optical trigger system.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
I mean, because eventually I may put that license or put them on a new crossbow that is totally safe, which you can use your close perimeter on the Bluetooth, on the you go on a close end NFC, and then we can sync your Apple Watch with it and able to have safety.
That's crazy.
Well, you know, I know those. I can code those.
You are the Elon Musk of archery.
I won't say that. First of all, Elon must have a lot more money than me to play around. I mean, I can hardly, if you want me to pull out more than 2 million, I don't think I can.
But anyway, so archery season this year, you didn't have as much time, but I guess
I was able to shoot about 4 deer. I picked not to shoot any of those except the last one, because I think, oh, I did tell you, I did shot the only deer that take out of Georgia's park. That park have 2 years without anybody taking a deer, and I took a 10-point out of it.
That is pretty incredible. For those who don't know, why is that? What are numbers low, or is it just hard hunting?
No, the numbers not. It's way you hunt, because you know Georgia's park is, imagine this, it is like a 1 city block by 10 city block, and you have to park on the 1 city block side.
You only have one access point.
1 point is because you can only park there. You can't park away from it.
Right.
So imagine this is on side of 1 city block, and both sides are private property, and you go up 10 city blocks.
Wow.
So in the middle, there's 4 different valleys. The valleys are not just like 10 feet down. No, it's 30 feet down, 50 feet up, 20 feet down, 50 feet up, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So if you really shoot a deer, you know, that's 10 city block, and the first one is about 2 city block in, you got the first valley. Then you walk another 5 city block, you got another valley. And then on the last city block, you got another valley. So what you do is that instead of walking in and sweat up a storm, you find the most viable access point towards the valley, and when you see the deer walk through the valley, you shoot it.
Is that what you did?
Yes, I did. Then I pick out my I designed myself a winch using a Makita high power drill. So instead of using a normal winch that have 40 feet of wires, okay, I take mine apart. I make sure all the gears are good. And then all the screws out, all the hardware out, replace with titanium. So instead of 12 pounds, it's now 3 pounds. And then instead of putting 40 feet of steel cable, I have 140 feet.
How many?
140. of a 1,400-pound Dyneema.
Jeez.
So I just hook it to the deer, hook to the tree, put a drill on, is now up there.
That is, man, you need to market those.
No, it's too expensive to be made. I mean, I did sold about 5 of them to my diehard friends who are all in my age. Because if you hunt in Central Illinois or any place else, just you think, you know, it's flat. Wait until you see those valleys. I mean, like,
that kind of surprised me.
Yeah, because you want this day you'll come by, I'll show you where I hunt in like Sycamore Creek. The valley you walk up there is strict 7-story down.
Whew.
And you know why they have no gun hunt in Sycamore Valley?
Why?
Because they have endangered bat there.
Oh.
So imagine you shot a deer, you go over the cliff. You're now 7-story down. No, I'm not just saying it. It's freaking, you can see a topography map. It's 88 feet in the lowest. I
think you shot one there, didn't you?
I shot a few deer there, but not over the valley. I shot one behind Miller Anderson Valley. That's only about 3.5 story. That happened about, that will be 2013. Oh yeah, that happened about 10 years ago. So I shot it, was 3-story down. It was close to night. I saw like, what the heck? I'll hold the deer, drag it half the way the hill. It was about 3-story down, about halfway through. I slip my foot and I roll down with the deer with a 7-pointer. And when I go down there, I pat myself. That's no hole in me. Good. I'm not doing this shit ever in my life. That's the reason I invented the winch.
I've seen pictures of it in use, and it's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Hey, you really make a big difference. I can pull up anytime I can pull up 700 pounds without breaking a sweat, just holding it and hold my guitar drill and
that's the definition of hunt smart, not hard.
Hey, when you're old, like trust me, me and my the first time I got that deer, the one I just shot in George's Park, I got my brother-in-law to help me, 2 of us, because he was right on up the hill. The hill is not high. The hill is maybe 40 foot, 35 degree, which is pretty shallow. I put my harness and he was dragging the horn, and we go up there I try to move the deer with him together with my harness on my back. I can't move it more than 4 inches. And I was just like a tree. I tried to grab the tree. Can't reach it. I was like, let's do this. I walked that 200 something yard to my car. I grabbed the winch, hold it, drag it all the way to the top.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, when you pass 60s, things don't work the same.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
Well, when I remember when I'm your age, I was hunting Kickapoo State Park. I was parked in lot 1 and hunting in lot 7 because lot 7 closed before sundown. So after I got the deer, I have my tree stand on my bag, my backpack, my old Oneida that's 11 pounds, and I put one hand on the horn and drag the deer 1.2 miles all the way to lot 1.
Wow.
I don't think I can do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, there's deer carts now and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember back in the 2019. That would be 2000 and no, that would be 1990. No, that would be 1995. That long ago.
1995. I was 3 years old.
Yeah, it was just after I got married. That's what I did.
So, what was the date when you shot that buck?
I don't remember.
November or something.
Yeah, no, it was opening season, so you had to be October 10th or 12th, maybe. It's the first.
No, I mean this year.
Oh, that will be. I can look. Give me a second. Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, I think I shot that deer on October 10th, November 10th.
November 10th.
Before my birthday. Now I remember that.
When's your birthday?
November 12th.
Mine's the 11th.
Yeah, a lot of people get married, just like my son was 16, my good buddy was 14. I mean, they all were around the same time.
Yeah. Valentine's Day.
But that's good. That's good.
So November 10th, what was that deer doing?
Oh, the deer actually, I saw quite a few. Doe was all walking on the top side between the cornfield and the tree. So I was sitting there thinking, should I point myself the other side? Then I just sit there and say, what the heck? Since I'm where I am. I was 30, I was 40, 42, 43 feet up in the air.
Holy.
On the bottom of the valley. Remember, if the deer come by, I'm close to eye level.
Yeah.
So the deer actually walked all the way across the valley and then towards me. I think, wait a minute. I'm trying to get myself hide behind the tree that's in front of me and get myself moved all the way up and ready. Then when he passed the tree side by, I was like, Arr! I shot it, 20 yards, died.
How far was the shot?
I think it's less than 40 shots, maybe 35 tops.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good.
Because I didn't want all the way to the river because there was a stream, and then you got the other side. I was very glad the deer shot it and he ran up the hill halfway and died there. So I take it up the hill.
Yeah, up. That is good. You got to break the Porsche in.
Yes, I did. That was my first deer on my new Porsche Cayenne Turbo. Decent.
That's pretty cool. So, what's the plans for the rest of the year? Illinois is a $2 state.
I mean, I'm literally starting December December 1st, I'll be hunting Chicago downtown.
And you have another buck tag, correct? Illinois is $2
Yes,
state.
I do have buck tag, and I still have an Indiana tag too, because I've got a lifetime license. I can shoot one in Indiana. So I may just go to Passing Hammond, Indiana. That's another good river spot that I can go. So if I really need to kill another one, that's good. But I can kill as many doe. And I just got invited to one of the colleges in Illinois. So I will be hunting on 128th Street and 290.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I told them I want to shoot about 2 or 3 does for them. And then I just donated $40 to one of the guys. They will process the deer and go to the booth bank.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but because I figured that they got one drop time buck there. I would like to have it.
Oh yeah. How big is he?
From what I can see, maybe 160, 170.
Oof. That's a big deer.
Yeah, but remember, we're talking, the meat is not the best because we're talking technically downtown Chicago, next to Robin area. I mean, if you know that, I mean, you don't go there as a white guy after 6.
Oh.
I mean, you got Cadillacs with chandelier inside driving around, and I'm not joking.
Yeah, that's.
I used my friend used to own a bar in there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know any better, and those are my younger days when I used to do consulting for Gary Community School District. I was doing construction for Frederickson's and Sears. I mean, those are my what you call it, my PMP days. I'm actually a project manager professional for construction too.
So in years past,
Mhm.
trade show season, it's always pretty busy for you. Anything?
Yeah, I mean,
anything new this year? Any shows you're not going to, or?
I would do 2 or 3 tech shows. I'm not doing the ATA show at all because I really think that they changed. It really did not benefit me.
What do you think changed about it?
It's not the ATA change, it's all the manufacturer changed. I mean, think about it. Everybody announced the new product before the end of in the middle of November already.
Yeah.
What are you going to see?
Yeah.
And you spend all this effort. I mean, most of the dealer in today's world, most of the dealer don't even go to ATA. What they do, they simply wait for the sales rep to show up or the sales rep group to show up with a product. And just like when one of my dealers say, well, when that guy showed up with a coffee that I liked with the donut, we'll talk about order. That's about it.
Yeah. You don't have to deal with all the other people. You don't have to pay to be there.
Well, most of the people in actually ATA, unfortunately, I mean, just like I pretty much raised my concern with the ATA. He said, I pay close to 10 to 15 grand to be ATA. And what I really get the most is that the media people who come people to try to sell me advertising.
Yeah.
Oh, please be on my TV. You need to sponsor my TV show. You need to do this. You need to do that. Wait a minute. I just pay to be there. If you give you now all of us manufacturer and you guys walk around, it's the easiest to sell your ware. I'm not paying to be sold.
Right.
That's the reason I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it costs a lot to be at that show, and you're there to make money, not spend it.
Yep. And the worst part is that in the old days, you got dealer actually go there.
Yeah.
Now you got 3D rendering on every single new product. All the stuff is on the internet. The moment they announce it, they got Facebook, TikTok, whatever in front of you. If you don't go there today, you can look at it 5 days later or the day I want to choose a bow. I can just look at every one of them, look at the design, look at I mean, it's not like then I'm not going to go to a dealer and get a bow. I mean, I remember the days of Expedition. I can just call one of my good buddy who was a manager there. He will send me a bow. And if I don't like it, I tell him I don't like it, I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I send it back.
Yeah.
In today, I mean, the bow company, there's so many out there. And a lot of people buy bow based on whatever say who it is. But they are not really, how do I say it? It's not the new bow. It's the person and the equipment set up. That is a bigger deal than anything else. I learned that.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of everything that you do.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like you have just because you got a brand new Indy car doesn't win Indy. Does it mean you can win Indy with that car? Hell no. You need a team, you need your mechanic, and you know what you're doing. And finally, you need to be there. I mean, just like some people tell me how much big deer they shot. I say, where do you hunt?
It makes a big difference.
No, yes. I mean, I got a buddy who I actually got I would say, associate who hunt north of where I hunt in my public land hunt. He got more big deer in it than ever. I just simply hunt the edge. If sometime, after gun season, I would hopefully a few will run towards me.
Yeah, right.
But that's about it. But then when I go to my place or go to Martino's, which is another place I hunt, every single freaking tree got a tree stand on it. That's decent.
That's crazy.
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
That means that if you really want to shoot one, you better know your stuff.
Yeah.
That just put the challenge and the fun that much more.
And but with ATA, even the big bow manufacturers have kind of dropped out. Last year, Matthews didn't go. I mean, there's representatives from other dealers that have the bows and stuff there, but it just seems like that's kind of a dying show.
Well, first of all, the entire internet process and so on, and how they did it. Remember, ATA is in January. If no manufacturer going to announce their bow there or the equipment there, why you go there for?
Yeah, or have it in November.
Right, or in my personal opinion, you should have one in June or May.
I think that'd be way better. Yeah,
because then you only do 3 days for the professional and 3 days for the general public. Very much like just recent me and you both, we do the Pennsylvania show.
Yeah.
For advertising and also for announcement for people to come by and educate, that's better. You see, original, I wanted to do the educational process in ATA, but it didn't work because they only have one educational session. It's on first day at 7 o'clock. Also, what happened? Which one, if you really want to learn, which one do you go, or you can't go to all of them?
Right.
And on top of that, whatever they didn't video it for other people to see. So what's the point of it doing it? I mean, I did it a few years. Then I found out that it's so pointless.
Which kind of sucks, right? Because the people that are at ATA are the people that you really need to educate because they're going to reach more people than like the individual that we talked to in Harrisburg.
Correct. And not to mention, I really think that at ATA should be a non-stop education session on the side. So the people can go there and then learn and so on, or at least make the video session available to others so that people who don't have to say, oh, there's 3 I like to go, which one I pick? Well, every time you make that, then just what are you not willing to learn?
Yeah.
Or what are you giving up? Why do I need to give up anything?
Right. Yeah. I mean, even outside of our opportunity to speak to individuals at Harrisburg, they are always constantly having seminars at that show. So I assume that you'll be back at that show.
Yes, I will be back at this show, and then I was talking with them. Maybe not 2024, but 2025. I may have a rolling seminar in Pennsylvania show.
Really?
Yes, because a lot of dealers, a lot of customers really like to do. I mean, it's more a Q&A than my lectures.
Yeah.
I mean, in the old days, just like a person is pretty hard to keep attention over 35 minutes.
Oh, definitely.
But I can do a lecture for say 40 minutes and then do a Q&A for 15 on every. I think it's better, and then do it every other hours. I
break
think
it up
help a lot.
I think so. Yeah, I mean that you basically give a seminar every time someone comes to your booth.
I did, and then I'm just repeating the same seminar. It's really not being as efficient use, but unfortunately, I mean right now with the Firenock certified and trained dealers classes that I video on the YouTube TV really help a lot because
those are great.
A lot of my customers actually spend time to. I mean, and I told them, say, Dorge, but I can't really hear what you said all the time, and they'll go back and say, that's better stuff. If you look at any one of my lecture, you click on the comment field. That's where the lecture notes. In other words, it is based on Google Presents, and guess what? The presentation notes of what I'm reading is down there.
Yeah, you can't miss anything.
And then, like I told my dealers, they all can use my lecture notes free of charge or anytime they feel like, and they can do mini seminars. They can cut a section and do their own training to educate their customer using my material.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you want?
because the theory is not that difficult, but a lot of people really haven't grasped the concept. The moment you pass 270 feet per second, what I talk matters.
Yeah.
And that's reason the crossbow guys, they go nuts with this, because whatever they have out,
I was gonna say,
do what they want.
that's when it really shows, when you get into the crossbows.
But then the crossbow companies go nuts. Everybody is trying to make a 500 feet per second or more bow. Well, guess what? You need a whole different class of equipment now, because you're dealing with 317 miles per hour. What do you think at 370 miles per hour? What's going to fly right?
Yeah.
You don't design it perfect.
When you have something that does fly right out of that bow, to your point of like the muzzleloader with the 70-yard shot, and you're just like, that's it. Are the crossbows going to get to that point?
It's still an archery projectile. The gravitational force and aerodynamics still kick in. The problem is that you now have problem with broadhead design.
Yeah.
And placement.
Do you think crossbows will get to that point though? Like that it's just too easy?
Not really. No. Because at the end of the day, crossbow is a bigger piece of equipment. I mean, yes, you got guys like a Raven R29X or R10X. I mean, those are much smaller to easy to hold. But then what are you giving up?
Longevity.
It's archery equipment. There's nothing you give up is forgiveness. You give up. I mean, the bow is accurate, but the problem is that unless you put it on a tripod and hold it, it's not going to be accurate, because the entire, like the Raven R29, R10X, or even the 500 is an extremely unforgiving archery piece of equipment. I mean, it's like going to ASA and IBO and tell the guy you need to shoot a 5-inch axle to axle bow.
Yeah, good luck.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
What's the forgiveness? There's none.
Yeah.
And then not to mention, every one of them is off note. They are not on the note. They are only to show that you give you a shortest. It's like, oh wow, you read, if you're a good sniper, but then they say, well, you want to go to places you couldn't go. This is a 7-inch barrel. Go for it. Yeah, how are you going to be a sniper with a 7 or 5-inch barrels?
Yeah.
You need a 12 or 18 to get accuracy.
With those bows, your only forgiveness is speed, but if you're off, you just miss faster.
Correct. It becomes a very big deal, and a lot of people forget it. Archery, at the end of the day, is still a piece of archery equipment. And then by just increasing speed, then you do not give how do I say it? Just imagine this: you got a guy with a 46-inch draw, a 26-inch draw, but you want him to pull a 300-pound bow to get the speed that he needed. Well, if you look at a Raven R26, it got a 11-inch power stroke. What does that mean to the archery projectile?
It's going to be pretty harsh.
Exactly. Because you need to look at a power stroke. The power stroke is from the cam string all the way to the trigger box. That's your power stroke. The front of that whole thing is nothing more than support.
Yeah.
Unlike a scorpion crossbow, the power stroke is technically the entire arrow. I mean, if you shoot vertical bow, ask yourself, what does a 30-inch draw curved bow on a Hoyt compared to a 26-inch? You want an identical speed? Hell no.
Yeah, it's not
identical long range power delivery? Not possible.
Yeah.
So you tell me, it's only what, 30 to 26? Now you're going to drop it down to 10?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I have to design a crossbow, I would say I would design a crossbow with at least a 24-inch power stroke. Then I can use 125 pound, you'll 5.15, and the arrow will be so much better. Yes, you need to put the arrow correctly.
Stable.
You will be stable, and the K in the kinetic energy retained. See the word retained? It is one of the most important factor that people ignored. Because here on the last, when remember Tony Warden?
Yeah.
We did the test. The R29X is pretty much the one that drop off the fastest on your entire energy, because there's so much vibration and so much oscillation of the arrow shaft. The KE drop is ridiculous on long range. But if you put a 200 power KE to start with, if you drop 50%, you're still 100.
Yeah.
So it's not an ethical shoot because like my customer who should have a 26-inch draw, 45-pound pull, he can blow through an elk at 68 yards. His placement, broadhead, and also flight characteristic.
Right.
That's more important than anything else today.
Has anything changed in the way of crossbows for 2024? Is there anything new and
I haven't
exciting?
seen any. I heard 10 Point is going to have some new models out. I think everybody is trying to give customer what they want. But then the question is that if all the customers say they want long range accuracy, but everybody give you a 3 and 5-inch barrels, you need to ask yourself, what are you asking for?
Yeah, that doesn't really seem like it's giving the customers what they want.
But a lot of people bought it because the truth is that most people shoot the deer within 30 or 40 yards.
Yeah.
So it actually worked.
Yeah, and on a like you said, on a tripod or something, you can fake like you have long range accuracy when you go out
Correct.
in the
So
field
then
in real life.
you clamp the whole thing down.
Yeah.
But if you're hunting on a tree stand without a rest, it's going to be really difficult.
Yeah. I've never shot a crossbow ever. So, I'd be curious to see how accurate I could be freehand
No,
versus my
freehand is really
compound.
difficult. I mean, it's like it is same thing like, okay, yeah, I'm giving you a long handled 357 mag with a 5-inch barrel and say, how accurate can you be with it at the say 700 yards?
Yeah. I feel like 40 yards, I'd almost feel more accurate with my compound though.
Well, actually, you need to understand the crossbow have eliminated one of the biggest issue with the compound bow.
Drawing it.
No, your absolute repeatable geometry.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
With a crossbow, the geometry is absolute.
Yep.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, you may be more accurate on the ground, but how many people on a tree stand remember to hold their upper body form and bend the waist?
Yeah. No one. Well, not no one, but very few people.
Right. So how can you? I mean, your accuracy on the ground, no big deal. It's absolute. But if you're on a saddle, you are now pulling the bow back. Your balance, your footing are variable now.
Yeah.
You expect to shoot that better than a crossbow? No. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but unlikely.
Yeah. The thing with the disadvantage that I see with the crossbow is the weight.
No, the weight is not. I mean, the compound bow I always have a better on the weight, especially if we do it right. Like my Expedition Eccentric, the one I have, that's with the sight, the rest, and the sling on it with the quiver mount, might weigh 4 pounds 4 ounces.
Yeah, and the crossbow weighs what, 10?
No, if you do it right, like my sculpted Death Stalker with the scope 7,
All right.
without the arrow crank 6. If you shoot an open pin to pin scope 5.
So you can get a crossbow down to 5 pounds.
Or even less if you want to really skeletonize it.
Hmm.
But then you lost your consistency because you need a little bit of weight for it. Just like imagine you're holding a long range rifle that's 2.5 pounds. It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
You need about 4 pounds is the magic number in most cases for most human.
And that's pretty much where the compound bows come in.
Well, but if you think about most people's compound bow, after they add all the stuff, it's closer to 5. And then some people have to have their so-called stabilizer system. Now you're pushing 6.5.
This bow does not list full specs.
Remember, it's not the bow, it's the accessory. The accessory is the killer.
So the 10 point, what is this?
10 points are always between 9 and 10 pounds.
The Flatline 460 Oracle is 7.5 pounds.
That's without the scope.
Yeah. Yeah.
The scope, I mean, just like I got an ATN scope, that thing is 1 kilo, which is 2.2 pounds.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They seem heavy to me.
Well, but you're putting that kind of equipment on it. Nobody say that you couldn't put a Trichicon ACOG on it. That thing is 2 ounces.
Yeah.
But then you pay $1,300.
You're gonna say you gotta take into consideration some money there.
Well, I mean, just like everything else, it's like fishing rods. I mean, like if I build a set of fishing rod, I'm dropping $350 on the guide.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what the minimum I would have done.
So speaking of weight, it seems like the highest priority for Matthews this year with the lift was the weight. What do you think of
All
that?
right. You
What do you
notice
think
that
of
they
that?
go at 1.25-inch limb bolts
Yeah, what do you think of
compared
that?
to a 2-inch limb bolts.
What do you think of that?
Then you lost your adjustability, which they are not doing. All the new bow like what Hoy did. Hoy go at 1.75-inch limb bolts. You know, everybody go that well because you lose the weight.
Yeah.
But you also lose the focus mass, so the vibration is less.
Why don't bow manufacturers utilize titanium?
Don't ask
Cost?
me. I'm more than willing to like. I mean, I used to. I mean, PSC used to have all their bows, but I think they must not like paying me a dime, so they don't. And they still sell and are able to sell a lot more aftermarket. So I'm not complaining.
Are you gonna customize a titanium kit for the new Matthews?
It's already out. I mean, already sent over 30 kits to a few dealers already.
How much weight savings is there?
It's not about the weight saving again. I told you, it is about, you figure the whole kit, including, I mean, if you put my titanium Z-bump in it, the difference is less than an ounce and a half, but the vibration is like 300% in feel.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that bow has, from what I've heard, a little bit more vibration than some of the Matthews bows in the past. So
Well, because the draw curve is different, and not
Yeah.
to mention Matthew finally used what Bowtech have on the limb tip. It's a barrel block design. Remember that is what Bowtech had, but the patent expired. It
Yeah.
is a very smart design because you actually utilize the entire limb. Because the
Yeah.
moment you drill a hole in it, you need to add weight. Now the entire limb is part of the curve, so your power strokes are always better because you're using the whole limb's ability.
Yeah,
Except
they're saying they're getting what, 348 out of that?
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
And not to mention, see, by doing that design, it is still the 4-limb top and 4-limb bottom design. So when you have more limbs, you also prevented the torsion. The limb talking left and right. With more limbs, your torsion is being optimized.
Yeah.
Or minimized, actually. You optimize it by minimizing it.
Another key feature for a lot of the new bows, not even just Matthews, is their wider limbs.
Of course.
Did you notice that?
Actually, I said that since 2012. In order to make a fiberglass plank, we're talking basic planks. As you increase the power, you increase the thickness. Then the outer and the upper and lower, the differentiation of band is bigger. If you want to maintain, you increase it width-wise. When you increase it width-wise, you decrease the differentiation of the expansion and compression on the upper and lower limbs. But you also increases the torsion of the plank. By cutting into smaller pieces, you get them optimized and minimized.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like it's I haven't shot any of them yet.
It's basic physics. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Can you overcome that with a better system? Yes, you get. And I
What's that? What's that?
Instead of using planks, use tubes.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yep. And so I actually got a design saying that instead of having 2 planks, I have a tube on the top, left and right. Instead of using 2 tubes, I would suggest using 4 tubes from the upper and 4 tubes from the lower. But the downside with this, you have to spine the tube first.
Yeah.
Which I own the spine machine too.
Like I said, Elon Musk.
Well, you know, it's basic physics, except I don't think a lot of people really think through it. But when you think through it, it's obvious. Why would you not do it?
Yeah, it seems like just from this year's announcements and what people have come out with, it seems like this year may have been a little bit bigger jump from bow to bow from years past.
I would say possible, but see, like this year, a lot of new guys, brand new bow guys, come to me for help, and some people actually, I was pretty flattered. I got a few guys actually call me, say, Dorge, I'm going to go into archery. What should I do? I say, I've got $3,000. I say, you don't need to spend that. I say, go ahead and get yourself a Z7 Extreme, get a new cable, titanium kit, you'll be much better off. Because your biggest problem is that with the new bows, you need to tune that sucker.
But so you like the Z7 Extreme?
I think it's one of the best bows Matthew ever made. Or even the original, the last, like the Hoy VTEC, or the Element. Those bows are fantastic. They are much easier to tune. I mean, it's like when you did come with the GT500, it is a binary cam bow, very much like what Hoy did with the RX7. Is that bow fast? Oh yes, absolutely. Do you know how to work with it?
Yeah. Even
I
at
mean,
the
if you know how to work with it and you spend literally hours shimming the cam, yes, you can get it to tune right. Then the bow is fast and so-called forgiving. I'm saying no, it's not forgiving because you need to keep it in tune.
yeah. The Z7 Extreme, I have one. It's
Yeah,
27.5 inches axle to axle.
right.
It's
How
pretty.
come so short?
That's the Z7 Extreme.
Oh, yeah. You're right. On the outside side. No, it's not. It's actually longer. It's more
Axle to
like 31.
axle.
It's more like 31.
The Z7 Extreme.
Yes, it
The
is not that
Z7
short.
is. The Z7 Extreme.
It's a little bit short, but remember the cam is bigger.
Yeah, I'm talking axle to axle.
But that's where not the cable goes. The cable is go on the cam. You need to think about what the cam actually does.
28 inches.
Right. So remember, you still have 3 inch, 2 inch on top and 3 inch on the bottom.
The brace
remember,
height on that
yes,
bow is 7.375 inches.
correct. It's so much more forgiving. And if
Yeah.
you put the only downside with that bow is that you have to put a really good string on it because it's a single cam. But the
Yeah.
moment you did that, that bow is a dream to shoot. You have nothing to worry about. Because see, back then when they come with the zebra string, I think that bow sucked because you literally have to keep on tuning it. But with the say you've got a string from say Vapor Trail or from Joey or American Best or even Gas, as long as they make right, that bow will stay tuned. So every year, put a new cable on it and string cable on it, you are good to go.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that bow. Still do.
You should. I mean, to be fair with you, all the new guys who ask me, I told them that's the bow you buy, or you get your old DXT as long as you don't shoot 70-pound, 31-inch draw.
Yeah.
You shoot 29, you're in good shape because the riser will bend.
Yeah.
Just like the Bowtech Allegiance, those riser will bend. Absolutely. They're not prime. The prime riser will not bend. I mean, they did a really good job material.
Did you see the accessory that Matthews released in the grip, the shot sense?
Nope, I have not.
So this feature, this feature alone makes me want to buy that bow. I want to like the bow.
What is something allow you to talk tune it?
No, so it's called Shot Sense, and it will analyze your shot. And it's an app that connects to the bow, and it shows you the degree of how far off your bubble is. It shows you how your pin floats. It shows you where your pin was when you release the shot. Like a lot of cool analyzing.
No, that's. I mean, to be fair with you, that was the same thing as a ballistic on a ballistic measurement, or in the case of cars, you could put an ODB system. You know how good your car dynamic is.
Yeah.
Is it important? Yes. In remember on a compound bow, that is in that's about the more data you know, the more you know how to do wrong. But you can do it with another simpler method, as what Jim Burnsworth and Rod White teach me. Get yourself a laser, put it on the front, and then look at how the point moves, and then shoot it. You know everything you need to know. Because at the end of the day, that's another thing. I mean, just like I got a few customers who have football injury in the early days, their grip, their hold is totally different because they can't have the frame you have.
Right.
I remember one customer, his arm was like drop down, angle like 15-degree down, and then up. I say, why? He said, how can you just move your arm straight? He say, can't do that. My shoulder do not let that. Football injury.
Yeah.
So at that moment, you compromise and you compromise and you compromise, but or you don't hunt.
Yeah, right. Or you pick up a crossbow.
Yes, that's what happened to me after two major shoulder surgery. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the big benefit to them. But with that with the shot sense feature, I was pretty interested in like how you can, because it logs it, right? It'll save all your past shots. And if you're playing with stabilizer,
is it available through the dealer? I mean, the dealer buy it and then you go and use it, or you buy this?
You buy it.
Oh,
it goes in the grip of your bow.
Oh, that would be interesting.
So say you want to play with your stabilizer weights and see how it changes your pin float. Like it'll show you this shot, this is what your pin did. and then you change your stabilizer and you shoot it. And you're like, okay, now this is what it's doing. And the laser will do the same thing, like you said, but this logs it.
Correct. Correct. I mean, that's the reason. See, back then when Jim Burns was to show me, he said he got a basic camera, and then to do a live shot on it, you pretty much can see what's going on, which is good. But now, of course, with this one, you got more detailed information. Now the question, you see, all these are great. Just like when I do high-speed camera and then do the Doppler radar, the question is, after you got the data, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Do you know how to fix it or what to do to change it?
Exactly. The datas are good. It's if only if you know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the first time I was an ODB with my sports car. I got all the data. It took me another 6 months to know what that means.
Yeah. I think it's going to take people a real long time to kind of, like you said, know what it means. And it's a pretty niche product too. Like, I don't think it's for everyone.
How much is it?
I think it's $300.
Oh, that's reasonable. That's more than reasonable.
Yeah.
But see, I would say that would be a fantastic piece for a dealer, because then you can help your customers, but then you better charge for it.
But the problem is it's only for Matthews.
Well, actually, I would say I remember Worldwide was doing high-speed camera for every customer that shoot the bow and see how they form, the bow behave, and so on. It's the same.
Yeah, right.
Because at the end of the day, you only see how your bow behave. You did not see how your arrow behave.
Yeah.
But I think arrow behavior is even bigger deal than the bow behavior.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you guys saw this since the original Exodus MMT, and you're going to see a little bit more on the NIS, the arrows. To be frank with you, after the MMT comes out, I even check and shoot right. Sorry, I had to rub that in.
Oh man, the amount of deer and elk and stuff that fell to the MMT and the NIS this year was pretty remarkable. It was pretty cool to see.
Most important, I think a lot of people forget one key factor, and a lot of people will really recognize it, is that how many people shoot a brand new Hoyt, Matthew, whatever, using the 166, shooting an animal in 20 yards, it go in 3 inches and stopped, maybe 6 inch stopped.
Yep.
And everyone that shot with an MMT or NIS, I pretty much would guarantee it go right through. Why? Recovery.
Yeah.
The arrow recovery, because most of the deer within 25 yards.
Degree.
And if you simply want to look, oh, look at this penetration, 45 yards, and say, excuse me, before we go further, what's the longest shot you have when you actually kill an animal?
Mine would be 42.
Yeah, but then you trained. But most of the guy will shoot the animal under 25.
Oh yeah, the vast majority of people.
Okay, let me ask you, what is the recovery on the 166 with a 100 grain? That's 22 yards.
Yeah.
166 with a 150, 120 with a 150 is 25 yards.
Yeah. So
at 25 yards, and you shoot the deer at 20 yards, what is happening to the arrow? It's still in chaos.
You don't know what kind of degree of impact you're going to get.
And what did that's where the problem is, isn't it?
Yep.
But with the MMT or the NIS, I mean, our high-speed photographer show that in the case of MMT is under 9 feet.
That's
the
crazy.
case of NIS is about 11 feet, which is not bad.
Feet.
11 feet is under 4 yards.
Yeah, feet.
Feet, exactly. And it's not just me saying it. You talk to the customer who actually bought your product. You get the feedback. Oh yeah, I blow right through it, but it's not where I want to aim. I saw him aim at a Harley go through the liver. Well, that's not your arrow's fault. It's your aiming fault.
Yeah, that was you. So for Firenock for 2024, anything new?
Yeah, it's going to be majorly two major things. The first thing I think, I'm revamping my arrow bow surfing jig. I actually commissioned an entire ceramic through-hole system.
Oh.
It's going to make a silicon carbide and silicon oxide on 2 different forms. And then I'm going to have a twin drag system for the surfing jig.
Oh, I think you showed me that.
Yes, it's a twin drag system. It's pretty involved, and I got it right. And then I'm going to add another knock to the system, D+.
What's that for?
That's for any crossbow with 165 or larger serving. That shoot over 500 feet per second.
Ooh, what's that made out of?
6061, not 7071. 6061 aluminum with the level 1 coating because I want it to be soft.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like cutting servings.
Right.
Yes, aluminum, metal knock aluminum on carbon arrow, and on top of that, the knock is squared. It's a square peg in a round hole again. So 4 of my patterns going to be used on it. Square peg in the round hole, umbrella system, clip-on knock, and Firenock.
Yeah. And the when you showed us that, I think it might have been 2 years ago you were working on that.
Yeah, that's for the Raven. It's still being sold very well. But right now it's pretty much needed for Raven L500.
The knock was like a flashlight.
Yes, it is.
It's pretty impressive.
Thank you. It was not easy. Remember, I'm trying to teach, since I cannot teach the polycarbonate to work with the carbon shaft. I'm teaching the carbon shaft to work with the aluminum.
I see. Yeah.
So that's the reason it's a square peg in a round hole, but the range of the outer edge is critical.
Well, I'm sure it'll be a huge success.
Well, it had been because of the C plus, the C plus, U plus, in U plus 5 is already out, and anybody who use it, they did exactly what they claimed. I mean, that was one thing a lot of people know. I did not make stuff that I claim, I overclaimed.
Yeah.
But then, of course, I do make mistake. I mean, like one time I make a, I spend the specification, but the manufacturers use the wrong spec, which is my fault of not double checking it.
Sure. Yeah. Extreme ownership.
So remember, at the end of the day, the buck stop here. I will be responsible no matter whose mistake is it.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's cool, Dorge. Congrats on the buck so far. I hope you get another one. I hope
I see the drop time.
Yeah, I hope there's a drop time in the future. I want to see a picture if you do.
Yeah, I'm starting hunting seriously Friday. I'm going all the way through until I finish this. I mean, actually, if you think about, if you know me, every single one of my big buck was shot between December 1st and December 5th.
I did not know that.
Buck was shot on December 3rd. The 14 Nixon buck I shot, that was shot on December 2nd.
I did not know that.
Nearly all my big bucks are shot in from December 1st to December 5th.
I'll be danged.
So it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, it's something to be excited for.
Yes, I am. I mean, I'm not even too excited on the first and second run. This is where it seems to me this is the time.
Yeah. Well, good. I hope it proves to be fruitful for you again. I'm gonna go hit the woods right now. So
cool. Is it gun season for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a 1 week shotgun.
No, Illinois is a 3-day for the first one and 4-day for the second one.
Yeah, we have a congruent 7 days, and then that's it.
Yep. But then, of course, during those time when shotgun or muzzleloader season, I go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Get away from the gun. No gun season, so I can shoot.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to wear orange.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
All right. I'll let you be.
Nice
talking to you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dorge, and we'll talk to you next week.